Elsa is the author of A Single Mom's Guide to Keeping It All Together, Settling for Less Than God's Best, a relationship checkup for single women, A Woman Who Hurts and a God Who Heals, and your soon-to-be-released book, I guess in 2012, Pure Love, Pure Life. Is that right?
That's right.
So Elsa has a big writing background, as you can see. She's also been an editor of Thriving Magazine, a publication of Focus on the Family. And she's written for Focus on the Family magazine, Women's World, Family, Christian Single, and many other magazines. So we're glad that you're here. And hey, we go back a few years as well here at the church called Woodman Valley Chapel here in Colorado Springs. You were the single parent family director in the ministry that I oversaw several years ago. So we have a relationship that goes way back. So
that's right.
Once again, good to have you with us. And so obviously your books spin around a theme of single parenting and a woman's heart. And I know you speak it well as women retreats and other settings, addressing the issues of single parenting, the implications, what that means, blended families, step families. But here's the question, Elsa, for our audience today. And really just to set up and get people to help to know you. Tell us your story, how you became a single parent. I know you say in other places that you were working at the Lone Star Steakhouse and saloon, barely making ends meet, and making some bad choices. So pick up the storyline from there.
Yeah, it's pretty broken history. I was married for 4 years. It was a difficult process, a painful process of divorce. It's not anything anybody ever wants. And so there I was working in South Bend, Indiana at Lone Star, living off welfare, barely making ends meet. And I was in such a broken place because my dreams were then just shattered there at my feet. And I was so sad at where I'd landed. And I ended up connecting with a small Methodist church, much older congregation, would sneak in the back. And I would have been out the night before. And I would come into that church and sit in the back row and reeking of cigarette smoke and then sneak out at the end of the service. But the people there really kind of scooped me up, and I ended up plugging into a divorce retreat program. Then there are some older women. She kind of scooped me up and showed me God's heart, taught me how to grieve my losses, taught me how to feel anger even, and to process through all the emotions, and really gained a healing there and started getting plugged into that ministry. So God began to take what was broken and bring some life from it.
So that was a process of, did you hang out at that church for a while just to kind of settle yourself down a little bit?
Yeah, it was a several year process because I had to kind of regain my trust and faith, and that it was actually something real and not something I just grew up in Sunday school knowing facts, but really reaching out to God and calling out to Him and building real relationship. But I was still broken, so I was still looking for that knight in shining armor to fix me. I was still trying to go to the bars and see if I could find that person, which of course was a horrible place to look, but that's all I knew to do. And so there was still some broken choices happening and unfolding.
Well, in that process of going those places and searching for things and people perhaps that really weren't satisfying your heart, you were a single parent for all those years. And I got to know your daughter a little bit back in those days, so I remember you were a single parent, which you're not now, but you were then. As you were a single parent at that time, what word of encouragement or insight you could give to the audience that are perhaps single moms out there? The number one priority, most important thing that they should keep in mind regarding their own heart and how they're responding to their kids?
Yeah, first of all, just to take the time to heal from whether it's a divorce or, even if they were never married and they were in a relationship and produced this beautiful child, to take the time to heal, to get counseling, to get plugged into a healthy community and learn how to live life as a single parent. Because as you take care of that tender heart of yours, as you learn to protect it and guard it and set it at God's feet, then you will be a far better parent. And if that child is the catalyst, that's the way it was for me. I was looking at this beautiful girl thinking, I'm a broken mess. And I do not want her to make the choices that I make. And so that really gave me a strong incentive to say, okay, what's wrong? What's underneath my decisions? And how can I get the help I need to become a better parent and to become a better follower of Christ?
And so that was a process of discernment about how am I living my life now, and in fact, the way I'm living my life, not only what I say, but what my children are seeing is extremely important to their development.
Right, and what I was finding was I was making broken choices. Like I would feel angry or upset, and instead of going to God, I would run to something else, whether it was calling a guy or opening the refrigerator or whatever it was, smoking a cigarette, having a drink. I mean, those were the outlets. So obviously, when I looked at that, I could see that I really didn't believe God was good and that he was hearing my heart or that he could really help me. And when I began to realize that, I thought, what lies am I believing about God's character? And so then I had a foundation to say, okay, wait, I don't really believe he's good. And it began my journey to finding out who God really is. And then I began to fall in love with him, and that transformed my choices.
Wow, Elsa, thanks so much for sharing your time with us today. Appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Thank you.